Hi everybody, it's Kristin and I have a review for you guys today. So you guys know that a while back I was sent a bunch of products very generously from It Cosmetics, and there were so many I decided not to try to put them all in one video. I really wanted to pick a few of them, give them a good try, then come back and do a video for you, and then I'll pick a few more of them and that sort of thing. So currently there are 3 of the products that were sent to me in this video. The It Bye Bye Lines Foundation, the It Bye Bye Undereye Concealing Pot, am I saying that right? Yes, Concealing Pot. And then the CC Plus, it's your skin but better, CC Plus Airbrush Perfecting Powder. So you guys know that I've been wearing these. You've seen them in my videos over the past month or so. And I feel like I have a really good feel for the products and can bring that information to you. So I'll be doing my normal 5-point system for the foundation and then just talking about the other products as we go through here. And I will have swatches as well as a demo towards the end. All right. Enough talking, let's get going. So the first product that I'm going to talk about is the Bye Bye Lines Foundation. So let's talk about packaging first. And I'm giving this a full point for packaging. I love when there's a pump, and there is a pump as you can see. We all love that. I love when it's airless like this and you're going to get every, as much as you can every little last bit. And this is twist off. I just had to double check that because I didn't even know. So this is twist off, which means that when it gets up to the top where it can't pump anymore, you'll still be able to get the rest of it out. So I'm giving it a full point for packaging. Color range, I'm giving it only half a point. I feel like they missed the mark here a little bit. There could be some more. I feel like this is a very light shade and I don't know for sure. I may send this particular shade to Kristin once I do the swatches for you guys so that she can try this and tell me, because she's probably one of the fairest people that I know. The fairest of the fair. She is she's a gem. If you don't know Kristin, I'll list her below. So I may send that to her and see if she wants to try that and let me know. But as far as what I see here, and there are 7 shades available in the line, just not enough. We're missing some on the deep end. This is the shade in deep, and that is not deep enough from the research that I've done. And there's just some in between shades that they could have as well. So for that, they're only getting a half a point. For coverage, this can be, and you'll see in the demo, with one layer or one coat, it can be a nice just kind of evening out sheer coverage. And if you do 2 coats, then it really builds up to more of a medium. Now, generally, and this is a change in my foundation reviews, generally the point that I have given in the past is whether it builds up to like a full coverage, which is what I like. That really isn't fair. So I'm changing that, and I'm trying to do what they are claiming it to be. The point will be given or not given based on what they're claiming it to be. And they're not claiming this to be a full coverage foundation. So I feel like that it builds up very well. So to that end, for coverage, I'm giving it a full point because that's what it's claiming to do. And so it's getting a full point for coverage. Longevity, giving it a 0.75. I would say that forgot to say at the beginning, shoot. I am dry skin that I take good care of, so it usually doesn't pull dry unless I put something on it that makes it pull very dry. And this, I really feel like it starts to break down at maybe the 6-hour point. So I'm giving it only a 0.75 for longevity, just because I just feel like any foundations these days should last a little bit longer than that. Whose day is only 6 hours? Certainly not mine. So I just feel like they just kind of a little bit better longevity. And then lastly is finish. I love the finish of this. But I'm trying to think how to say this. I love the finish of it, but it doesn't ever dry completely down. I always have to put something on top of it. So I'm giving it a 0.75 for finish. If you're just looking at how finish looks without any powder on top of it, then it looks beautiful, but I just don't want to touch it and have it feel kind of a little bit tacky to me. So I don't love that so much, which is one of the reasons why I'm not sure Kristin will actually like this, because she tends to lean more oily. At any rate, it's very pretty. It's a very, very pretty finish. So I'm giving it a 0.75. So overall, I'm giving the foundation a 4.0 out of 5, which is very good. So then let's move on to the Concealing Pot. So I, again, use the shade in Light. And so this is the shade in Light. I will, again, give you swatches of all of the shades in the end. It comes in a little pot like this. and there are 6 shades available in here. I feel like they could add a few more shades in concealer as well. So, you know, we'll just go ahead and say that. But so what it claims is the Weightless Smoothing Complete Coverage Concealer. And I would say that it is that. I'll give you, you'll see when I apply, but I'll give you just a little bit so you can kind of, I'm going to try to get up there so you can see a little bit of the texture of it. And then let me blend it in. It's hard really to show you a concealer. So I never have liked the Bye Bye Under Eye, the one that comes in a tube. For me and my drier under eyes, it just is a little bit too thick and doesn't work as well for me. So I find that this one works much, much better. And you'll see in the demo, I really like to apply it with my finger. I don't like to use a brush. Sometimes I'll use a brush on the edge if I am having, for some reason, a hard time blending out the edge. But generally it blends right into the skin. And your finger really is the best way to apply this one. You just really, I like to like set it there, push it in, blend it out. And then it will crease on me only one time. And you guys have heard me talk about this before. The MAC Pro Longwear does the same. I find, I mean, as I get older, there really isn't a concealer that doesn't give me some sort of kind of creasing / going into my fine lines. So I just let it sit, and one of the last things I do before I leave for the day or before I set my under eye powder or under eye with powder is I will take this. And I have tested this both ways, but we'll come back to that. I mean, with and without the powder. So when it creases like that, I just take a little Q-tip, go into my fine lines, which are generally right there, wipe it away, and it doesn't ever appear in my lines again. And I have no problem with that because most concealers do. So longevity, I find that this lasts very well with the powder on top of it, and it works with the powder on top of it. A lot of us like to set our under eyes or give us a little brightness, and I do that with the By Terry Hydra powder. I've talked about that a million times before. I've tried it with some other powders as well, and it seems to work. So with or without it, the longevity on this is nice, and it doesn't have that, I didn't set it today, so it doesn't have that sticky feel to it that the foundation does. So I really like this. I'm very happy with this. And I think these other, you know, a couple of these shades I actually will keep for my kit because I feel like it works that well. So I'm a big fan of that. This, by the way, I'm sorry if I forgot to say, this sells for $38, excuse me. And this sells for $28. And anywhere It Cosmetics is sold. You can get it on the QVC, you can get it on Ulta, you can get it on their direct site, whatever your heart desires. Alright, so lastly in this review is the Your Skin But Better CC Plus Airbrush Perfecting Powder. So I love this. I am a big fan of this, but I will say this. I don't like this on its own, and that is the case with me for 90% of powder foundations. Well, maybe that's a little extreme. 80% of powder foundations. I don't love them just on my skin, like over a primer. I just don't feel like my skin lends itself to that as a drier skin person. The only one that I ever really liked by itself would have been the, well, one that's discontinued now, so there were a couple. There's one or two that's been discontinued that I liked, and the one that still is around is the MAC Mineralized Finish and Natural. I still love that. I have one of those in my purse that, in case I should ever need to just throw something on or whatever, that works well. But this, I think this would take the place of that. I have tried and have still both the It Cosmetics Celebration Foundation Illumination and the Celebration Foundation, just the regular one in the powder form. Neither one of them gives me the finish that this one does. So my favorite way to wear these products that I'm talking about currently is to put the foundation on first and then dust over it, which is what you'll see in the demo, or kind of buff actually into it, not so much dust over it, this powder foundation. That gives the longevity that I need. It gives even a better finish to my face. I hope that you guys can see too, because that's what I have on my face today, how that looks. It's just, it's flawless, but not mask-like. I don't know how to explain it. Again, like I said, hopefully you guys can see it. The combination of those two is just absolutely stunning. So I'm really happy with this as that. I did not like it just on its own. I tried it a couple of times and it just did not work for me. I didn't feel like it really had longevity more than a couple of hours, and just didn't give the coverage that I like. If you like a powder foundation and you want kind of a luminosity to your face, and you don't have as many sort of like age spots, blemishes and things or whatever that I have to cover, you might really like this. For me, I just didn't like it on its own, but combined with this, loved, absolutely loved it. I was a really big fan. So if you find that your coloring is similar to me, I used both, all three, the Concealing Pot, this powder, and the foundation in the light shade, and they all worked very well for me. So let me go ahead and insert the footage here for you so you can see the demo. Okay, so as per usual, I'm going to do half of my face... Game, coffee. All right, so as per usual, I'm going to do half of my face with a beauty sponge and then half of my face with a flat top kabuki. So I have primed already, and the one I'm using currently is the Eve Pearl Priming Moisturizer Treatment. And I'm gonna put 2 pumps on the back of my hand, and again, the shade I'm using is in light. So we're just going to dot that, I'm gonna look here, dot that all over my face. And I'm gonna do one, we'll do this side with the flat top kabuki. So you can see, I feel like with one sort of layer, coat, whatever you want to say, there's always a big discussion about whether I should do. So one sort of layer coat evens things out. You can see from here to here, evens things out. It's not a lot of coverage. And then, let's not forget my nose. We'll do my nose with a beauty blender. With a beauty sponge, I should say. I'm looking this way because my mirror is this way, in case you're wondering. I really haven't found the best setup, even though I've been here since May. I'm working on it. I actually am thinking about painting this room. Random information while I'm blending. Okay, so one layer, beauty blender, one layer. And what you will notice is that I don't think it makes a ton of difference. There are some foundations where it makes a huge difference, and there's some foundations where it doesn't make a ton of difference, which one you use. And this one really is, that's really how I feel about it. But we're gonna do second layer. I'm gonna put this over here so I save that on my hand. With the flat angle kabuki, and you'll see how I feel like it builds up very nicely. So you can see it adds just a little bit more coverage. It's not a full coverage. You can still see my little blemish I've been dealing with for weeks there. It's one of those ones where you want to do something about, but you know you should just let it go, and so I'm just letting it go. And then we're gonna finish on this side. And then what I do, because this cheek always has just a little bit more redness, I take whatever's kind of left on my hand, I just pick it up with my beauty sponge, and see how just a little bit more totally cleared that up. All right, so I've zoomed you in just a little bit, and I now have the Bye Bye Under Eye Concealing Pot in the shade Light. And I go into this with my finger. My fingers are clean. I actually keep hand sanitizer on my vanity. And this is the way I feel like it's best to use this, is to just really work it in with your finger. And just blend it out. And I would say this shade really is a true light. Much lighter than this, and it would be too much for me. Like fair would be too much for me. And I just blend it, and I just feel like it gives a really, you can see the coverage that it gives. And same on this side. All right, so now let me zoom you back out. Okay, so how I'm going to be talking about using this is with this powder on top of it. I'll give you more in depth, but I want you to see what I'm talking about. So I'm going in with a Sephora 55 brush, which is a nice dense buffing brush, and just going over, trying to use my mirror and the viewfinder at the same time. And you'll see what I'm talking about. It just evens everything. I mean, it just gives such a pretty finish. I just love the combo of these two together. Just such a pretty finish. So there you can see the side without it and the side with it. Hopefully you can see the difference. All right, we'll do the other side. You can see it doesn't take much effort to blend it in and make it part of your skin. All right, so there's what it looks like completely done. All right, so hopefully that was helpful for you guys to see how they apply, that sort of thing. I know that this probably got a little bit longer than I intended it to be, but this is why I wanted to keep these videos to just a couple of products in one video so that you can really, I can give you as much information as I want to give you. So I hope that this was helpful. On the rest of my face today, I have the Makeup Forever blush in number 10, I think. This one right here. And on my eyes, I just started playing with this palette. I'm not sure how much I like it, but this is the Chloe Morello Ciate London palette. And I have these three shades here, kind of on my crease and corner, and then I have this all over my eyelid. And then on my lips, I have the Hourglass lipstick in I Want. Looks like that. And then over the top of that, I went in with Jouer's Skinny Dip. And I think that is everything. So again, I hope that this was helpful and it brought you some value. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below. And I think that's it. So I hope you're having a great day, and in everything that you do, be beautiful. Bye.